welcome to my pick a card channel of the Tarot Cottage. My name is Amy and I'm here with a pick a card reading for you. And today's pick a card topic is all about the person on your mind. It's sort of a continuation from the last reading. I got the suggestion in the comment section, so thank you to the subscriber who offered this suggestion, but they wanted to see a continuation of the last reading. The last reading was really speaking about how a person felt on your mind the last time they saw you. And the subscriber suggested that I sort of do a continuation for those who wanted one about what will they do next? What are their current thoughts and feelings and what are they going to do next? So the person on your mind, you don't have to have watched the last reading, of course. It doesn't even have to be connected. But if you did watch the last reading, then perhaps you'll be interested in this reading as well, because we're going to look at what are their current thoughts and feelings about you and what are their next actions? What are they going to do next? So we do have 3 piles to choose from today. We have pile number 1 with the Page of Cups, pile number 2 with the 2 of Cups, and pile number 3 with the Magician. Of course, my timestamps are always listed below. I'm going to jump right back into pile number 1, but I do want to take a moment to thank my subscribers for being here. Thank you for your beautiful comments. I want to congratulate this week's winner of the free tarot reading. Be sure to drop your comments because Christmas is coming. I'm feeling really generous. I want to be able to gift some more readings to people. So I do have problems getting my winners to reach out to me. So I'm trying to figure out a new system, but it's really important that you hit your notification bell if you leave a comment in order to be notified that you are chosen as the free winner. So be sure to do that. I would love to gift you a reading. I would love to read for you. I do also offer readings through my Etsy account, and that link is always listed below, and I do update that shop regularly. But for today's pick a card topic, what are their current thoughts and feelings of you, the person on your mind, whoever this person is, and what are they going to do next? What are going to be their next actions towards you? Pile 1, pile 2, and pile number 3. I'm going to jump into pile number 1. Hello, pile 1, you were drawn to the Page of Cups and this is your reading. What are they going to do next? What are they currently thinking and feeling? What can you expect next from this person? The Page of Cups is actually a beautiful card to be drawn to because it does speak about perhaps new starts, new inspiration that's coming through, them being inspired perhaps to even reach out to you if you haven't been in contact up to this point. So this is a beautiful card to be drawn to. So let's take a look and see. For pile number 1, what are their current thoughts and feelings first? And then what are they going to do next? For pile number 1. We have the 9 of Swords. So their thoughts are racing right now. They seem to be nervous, worried about something, overthinking about something. Maybe they've been procrastinating about the situation. Yeah, their ego is not helping them in this case. They're watching you. We have the Page of Swords coming out with that card. Here's the 2 of Cups. That's a good sign as well, with the 2 of Cups showing itself. I feel like they're really conflicted because I think their ego is telling them they should have reached out by now if they haven't reached out to you, for instance, or they should have acted upon the situation and they haven't yet. So their ego is telling them that they're taking too long or that maybe it's too late. And now they're starting to take on that narrative and it's only making them procrastinate more, you know? It's kind of like when you miss school or you miss work and you only miss a day, and it's not so hard to go back after you miss one day, but if you miss a week, then it feels so hard to go back. Here's the King of Pentacles. What are they currently thinking and feeling, please? What are their next actions towards you? They've also seen something recently on your, here we have the Sun, the King of Wands, and the 9 of Wands showing itself. But they've seen something recently, perhaps on your social media, that has given them a bit of a reason to worry or a jolt. You could have posted a picture with another person, for instance, or maybe you're out in a group. Because their ego is telling them that they've received a lot of clarity, but they haven't actually received any clarity. You'll notice now we have the Sun, the King of Wands, and the 9 of Wands. And the Sun here is this man is riding on a chicken. A fear aspect. Now, there's also a sense with the Rooster of protection, protecting themselves here with the King of Wands. Because they're convincing themselves in these thoughts that luck is not on their side, that maybe you won't be interested. And again, this narrative, it's not truth. It's just subjective opinion based on their feelings, but it's enough to slow things down. and keep them in this 9 phase and keep them in a state of fear without actually getting the clarity that they want. Because they may have been inspired to perhaps make contact or reach out to you. Yeah, here's the World. And they feel like they're on a time limit. Here's the Death energy. Back of the deck is the 5 of Wands and the Tower. It's like I feel like this person does have a willingness to work on this situation. They get really triggered with jealousy when it comes to you. And that trigger's already happened for them recently. Again, it could have been at a time when, let me just grab a different deck here. It could have been something they saw because they've been kind of keeping tabs on you. So it's almost like they're waiting for a moment of inspiration or waiting for a moment of confidence before they take some type of action, but things are unfinished. The problem here is that it's like they're telling themselves this narrative about you changing your ideas or changing your mind, changing direction. It's going to require like hunger for success for them to come forward. Can you show me the next actions, please? You have the Ace of Cups. Because here, look at this Ace of Cups. It's completely empty. The Ace of Cups is supposed to be giving from an overflow. This Nine of Swords is really a reflection of their mood, their mindset right now, their energy field. They're not offering themselves a lot of compassion or grace at this moment. The Ace of Cups is also them wanting to come forward with an offer, but they don't feel like they have a lot to give as well. And Spirit says they have to work through all of these fears and worries before they even are able to gather up the confidence and the determination to push through before it's too late here with the Tower. But I do feel like there's a momentum here with the World in the future position. Here's the Page of Wands. Yeah. Whatever they've just looked at on your social media is lighting a fire underneath them. It's a bit of a sting, though. I think it stung and then it burned. So it's like somebody who's going to be motivated to take action towards you because of jealousy, because of a competition that they feel like they could be in. They're kind of interested in keeping themselves safe, but they're also interested in maintaining their opportunity here. Here's the Five of Pentacles. So perhaps in separation at this moment, they see you moving forward, and I feel like they aren't privy to the fact that you moving forward is still challenging and hard for you because you do have an attachment here. Here we have Justice. Look at how she's spanking him with the wooden spoon. Worried perhaps about the consequences too when they come forward. They could be worried about what you have to say, about the time frame. They could be worried about the realities that are waiting for them when they do reach out. But all of this, Spirit just said, even though they're in this mindset right now, they're going to change their mind. They're going to change their approach in the very least. There's still going to be perhaps some time period. Spirit says there could still be a period of time within the transition that you find really frustrating. I feel like they're almost afraid to face you. Here's the Three of Swords. Ooh. Now, the Three of Swords can speak to somebody who's anticipating disappointment. It can also speak to third parties, so please take that as it resonates to you. Again, it's almost like they're telling themselves that there could be a consequence, or again, they're jealous. So there could be a reason why they're afraid to approach, or a reason why they end up approaching because they're triggered by that jealousy. Back of the deck is the Nine of Pentacles. And we have the Tower again, Tower twice, but this is like a jello mold and we can see right through it. There's the Nine of Cups. Now, the truth is that I feel like this person's next actions are going to be in communicating with you and in reaching out to you here with the Page of Cups. I feel like it's going to come in like this Tower energy. It's going to come in suddenly. It's going to come in an unexpected way. They don't know what to expect when they come forward. They're almost bracing themselves for disappointment, if I'm being honest. It's like they're bracing themselves to find out that you're in another relationship, or bracing themselves to find out that you've given up on this situation. So it's like they're not expecting much. Even if they do end up getting exactly what they want, they're not expecting much when they do come forward. But that's that, Brené Brown speaks about this in her books, where she says we as human beings will try to beat vulnerability to the punch by bracing ourselves for a negative outcome. Yeah, that's what they're anticipating here. But Spirit does see further communication that they're going to take and apply towards you. Again, there's still some challenges to overcome when it comes to timing and when it comes maybe to how the two of you navigate around obstacles. And because I'm reading for the collective, there could be, those obstacles could take so many different shapes. It could be people, it could be job, it could be timing. I feel like they have a tendency to drag their feet. Here's the Lovers. Now for someone watching, again, the jealousy, the competition is very real. It's like they come forward despite competition, despite jealousy, and despite maybe choices between partners. They're looking for the full spectrum. It's like they want to know, is this jealousy warranted? Do I have anything to worry about? Nine of Pentacles indicates that position could be an issue when this person does reach out. Adjustments will be required, Spirit says. Maybe perhaps to the Divine Feminine's position. Here's the Devil on the back of deck. Lots of Capricorn coming through. There's the Knight of Swords and the Five of Wands. Spirit is sort of preparing you for what to expect next. So because they feel like it's the Divine Feminine that could have a lot of choices and decisions to make here. I also feel like the two of you would look like amazing together. It's like both of you, there's something very beautiful or attractive about both of you. What is this person currently thinking, please, about their next actions? What are their expectations? Don't focus on who wants me, I want you. And I'm severing ties with a karmic partner. So again, third party, jealousy could be applied from their end. This could also be coming, like your reaction coming from their actions. So there could be some pretty heavy complications that we have to deal with, but it could be worth it. We have here, I'm done running from this connection and I am planning to surprise you. Also back of deck showing itself, I know more than you think, and that's because they've been spying on you. Very curious about what you've been up to. I hold back now because I don't want to be rejected. And almost like they're expecting that. I've been thinking about making a proposition to you, along with give me a chance coming out. Let's get 3 more so we have lots of balance. Whoopsie. I was in denial and I know we're being spiritually guided. They've been trying to build something for themselves. Family, like not family, I don't feel it's family. It could be, but feels like it's career, feels like position, could be relationships. I do think about the future, and when I do, I think about you in it. Back of the deck says, I have options, but I only want you. Again, some of these energies could be reversed. The two of you could be in a very similar situation or a parallel situation as well. So let's ask about timing and see. I feel like timing is going to be a bit tricky in this connection. I feel like you've been waiting a while. Spirit says it's going to pop up like that tower. Queen of Wands. I feel like you've been waiting. I feel like that's almost a bone of contention. You can see the cat's even sleeping. It's not even sitting up in an alert position. It's been resting. You may have time, Spirit says. You may have bones to pick when it comes to timing. Here's the Knight of Swords. We have the Strength, and here's the Seven of Pentacles. So we do have time to wait. The Seven of Pentacles does indicate patience, but they want us to not feel like we're waiting for anything. They want us to utilize that time wisely by making sure that we're reflecting upon what we are currently invested in position, if that's on our end of the spectrum, so that we can decide what we want in the future when and if this person does follow through and reach out to you. Let's get a charm bowl for pile number 1. In the bowl, please. Ace of Cups coming reversed. Queen of Cups and the Seven of Pentacles. Now, there's almost like a lot of fear of being let down. Like it's like somebody who has a fear of being let down. They are also kind of worried that you don't hold any love in your heart for them, or that you won't be reciprocal if they do reach out to you. especially because of the length of time. They feel like it's been a while, and there's perhaps been investment as well. There's an aspect of motherhood sometimes as well with the Queen of Cups, so please take that as it resonates. But what they don't know yet, perhaps, is the fact that there is still investment in that Queen's heart. In the charm bowl today, we do have here, oh, we have the elephant with the trunk down, which is interesting because we also have, where did he go? Messing up my whole spread, but the elephant with the trunk down, it's like they're convincing themselves that luck is not on their side, and maybe it's because there's a lot of complications in this connection. We have special, we have ing and action, so somebody who will be taking action. The letters L and R. We have a forget-me-not, Sagittarius energy as well. Lots of fire with that King of Wands. We do have empowerment with the Aquarius star. Now this is the big, bold, red Aquarius star. So this is speaking about somebody who empowers themselves by healing. We have the key and music. We also have the wing, looking at things from a higher perspective. All right, pile number 1, that's what I have for you. I hope it resonates with you. Drop your comment below and be sure to hit your notification bell if you would like to be entered for a chance to win a free reading with me. You can also check out my link for Etsy for a personalized reading as well. I do update that shop daily. But come back and visit me at the Tarot Cottage, and I hope you have a beautiful day. Hello, pile number 2. You were drawn to the Two of Cups, and this is your reading. What are the person on your mind's current thoughts and feelings, and what are they going to do next? Now, the Two of Cups is a relationship aspect card. It does speak of connection. It does sort of speak to like the beginnings of new relationships as well. So hopefully that is a good sign of evolution in your connection. But let's take a look and see. I'm going to use the Sante Morte Book of the Dead Tarot. For pile number 2, please, their current thoughts and feelings is where we're going to start first. We're going to see what actions will they take next towards you. What are they currently thinking and feeling towards pile 2, please? Six of Pentacles. The Knight of Pentacles. Page of Swords with the Hanged Man. It's like this person's been asking you to wait a long time, or asking for a lot of compassion because they feel like they have to take things slowly. Spirit's trying to call them out, though, instead of calling it compassion. They're trying to call this person out and say that they're being really complacent. We have the Moon. We have the High Priestess. Back of the deck, we do have the Hierophant. And we have the King of Cups. I want to clarify this as I go forward. What are their current thoughts and feelings, please? The Tower. Oh, there's like a really, and take it as it resonates because I am reading for the collective, but with the Hierophant here, they're just highlighting the Ouija board and how the Ouija board's kind of dangerous because it can open up doorways that I can't close, or that I have a challenge in closing, and it kind of releases things that are dangerous. And it's like they're trying to control where this goes and control the impact that it has on them as a result. We can't deny the Tower here with the Six of Pentacles. There's the death energy with the skull. There's the spider aspect of weaving our own destiny. That's perhaps why they've been watching and not doing. And now we have the Ten of Pentacles. So I can't deny that for some, there's a lot of nods to commitment cycles here, but someone who's still holding loyalty towards that environment, but also this connection. King of Swords, Aquarius, Libra, Gemini. Because I feel like this is a tough nut to crack, or it feels like somebody who I can't read very well with their emotions. Like they're very stoic and they're very rigid in that stoicism. They may not you may kind of question, how do they feel about me? Because they're very, I don't want to use a word like cold. I don't think that they're cold, because underneath here is the King of Cups. I know that they care deeply about you, and they can't seem to shake it. They can't seem to forget about the connection. But they're trying to suppress it, or they're trying to, again, micromanage the control. Here's the Six of Swords. Now, this is actually a good sign to show action or some type of clarity that could come in the future, but it is supported by, or supporting, the High Priestess. This is speaking about deep knowing. This is speaking about maybe even secrecy. Back of the deck is the Eight of Swords now, with the Seven of Wands. The issue that this person has in their current thoughts and feelings is that they feel stuck or limited. And some of those limitations they could have put themselves in. Some of those limitations could be their career or their family, their commitment cycles, for instance. They don't feel like now is the time for them to act, or that they're capable of acting, but that's just a rigid logic that they're holding, because they actually have all the control in the world. They're just trying to suppress that truth, because the desire for you feels a little bit naughty, or it feels a little bit like I shouldn't want that, or I shouldn't be moving in that direction. So it's like they try to push their feelings down. It's a very logical person, very practical person. I just heard a song reference that says, "I've been watching you, ain't that cool?" And I just heard them being called dad as well. So this could be someone who has children, for instance. Even with the King of Cups, can be a father figure. They are kind of using something as a scapegoat to kind of explain the delays, because it's not, everything that they're feeling is not a testament to their lack of desire to be in a relationship, because the Two of Cups is somebody who wants that, but they don't feel like they can. And it's not that they can't, it's that they are not looking for the solutions, or they're not finding solutions right now, because they're worried about the consequences of that, maybe to karmic relationships. And they feel like they kind of put themselves in a bed of their own doing. So this connection with you acts as an inspiration, but also makes them have this to-do list of things they have to do. Because you represent like the exact opposite of what this Knight of Pentacles and Ten of Pentacles represents. You're different. There's something exciting about you. You could be even like a different culture than this person. There's just something lively and abundant about you that they contrast in their current environment. And this Knight of Wands actually wants to take action now. That's what they want. They want a reunion. They want clarity. They want transition. Maybe they want something physical. But the Knight of Wands doesn't know where that's going to take them. And so they wait here, perhaps until more confidence. The Three of Wands is a card of expansion, but they're also, again, highlighting that to-do list and adjustments that are required for this person. I want to get some message cards of what are they thinking and feeling at this moment for pile 2, please. I didn't want you to rely on me. Three of Pentacles. We also have here a fresh start, a seed, or an opportunity. We have, I'm not waiting a second longer, but it's reverse. And I feel like it's important for that reversal. I don't often read these in reverse, but this is the Eight of Wands. They feel a pressure. They feel a desire. It's like a magnetism, but it represents something brand new. And if they've already established the Ten of Pentacles, going back to the Ace of Pentacles can feel like a huge sacrifice. Because now Spirit's calling them out again. They, like, let's call a spade a spade. They present themselves as the King of Swords, but they're actually sitting here as the Page of Swords. You represent an overflow of fresh starts and emotions. It's fresh, it's new. That's what is so exciting for this person, is that they know what to expect in old connections, in old timelines. They know what that looks like. They know what that feels like. Maybe there's a lot of responsibility there. There's a lot of yeah, it just feels like it's thick with responsibilities, but you represent newness. You represent something abundant, something fun, something exciting. It's like a breath of fresh air or a beautiful song. And there could be like a connection to a song, to a name for someone watching too. Like for instance, both of my children are named after songs. So, but they're bringing forward this idea of somebody's name connected to a song. You give me a heart on. I always giggle at that card because of the innuendo. It's like the Knight of Cups, being cheeky. It says here, I am ready to fight for this, but we have, don't you worry, I'm coming, and it's coming in the reverse. We also have here, this is far from being over. I'm making plans for us, and along with the Lover's energy, I wish I'd made better choices. This could be in connection to the Six of Pentacles and karmic connections. Back of the deck says, I'm right where you left me, Six of Swords reversed. And we have you make me feel at home. So home could be an issue, commitment cycles, maybe even, you know, sometimes the Hierophant can represent, you know, marriages, for instance. But the Six of Swords coming in the reverse position of I'm right where you left me speaks to lack of clarity, lack of closure. We have the Six of Swords upright in the future position. So hopefully that will be an indication of their next actions. So let's take a look and see what their next action will be. What will their next action be? Queen of Swords coming in the reversal. Honestly, they're telling themselves that you might receive them poorly, or that you'll be mad at them or frustrated with them because maybe you've given them a lot of grace or given them a lot of time. So they're worried that you're kind of at your wit's end. We have here the Seven of Cups. We have the Page of Pentacles. We have the Page of Wands. Okay, so they are going to make contact with you. If they're not in contact right now, they are going to be making contact with you. They are sort of feigning innocence. They're feigning innocence. They're kind of showing themselves literally as a fight or flight animal. And I just heard the term fight, flight, or fawn. And here we have a fawn in the center of the reading. It's like they're coming forward with communication because they want to test the waters a little bit, see where you stand, because they are a little bit confused or concerned, and they're inventing their own narrative out of that. They're worried that you're really angry at them, or you're really frustrated, or you just don't have the time for them anymore. If there is a green light from you, if they feel a warmth coming from you, then it feels like their approach changes. They could be coming forward claiming that this is just going to bring closure or clarity to the two of you, but then their approach changes towards you to this Page of Wands, where it's like, well, I've got curiosities. Let's see where we could take this curiosity. Yeah, here's the Two of Wands. Back of the deck is the Six of Wands. There's a moth coming through and the Strength. They still kind of want to hold on to hope here. But I can't deny that they're kind of highlighting the fact that this is a male lion, and how it's the females in the pride that do all of the work, and they just sort of protect. So they could be taking more of a passive approach even when they do make communication, and even when it does shift into more of a flirtation and into more, it's like we're building upon fire. It's a bit of a domino effect perhaps, or a fuse that will be lit. Now the Two of Wands does speak to you seeing where you're going. Like, I don't think that they're going to be hiding the fact if they're in another connection, for instance. I think you'll be very much aware. It does feel a little bit like we're playing with a little bit of fire. I think the two of you will continue to communicate. And this Two of Wands talks about making plans beyond that. But they're going to come in just sort of testing the waters to see, just to get some clarity. And they're going to feign some type of innocence here. Here's the Ace of Swords. Now, Spirit does, again, there's a bit of a warning because we have the Tower sitting over here. And I often say in my first position column, it gives me a lot of information about the potential of what could be the domino effect or the outcome. So we have two lightning bolts coming in. So the Ace of Swords is speaking about getting a lot of clarity out of this situation, but also some of the clarity having some effect, or having the potential to have an effect where change could be on the docket. Like, change could come as a result of the actions that they take overall. But there's more to come. There's more to come in this connection. This person is going to communicate with you. I As I said, they're a little bit unsure of what to do. They're a little bit unsure about whether or not they should be coming forward or whether or not you're going to receive them well. Let's get a charm bowl for pile number 2. Five of Swords, the Fool, the Death energy. Now the Five of Swords does talk about a little bit of conflict with the Death energy and the Fool. So somebody taking a leap of faith despite the fact that there could be conflict here too. I can't deny that they do want to protect themselves. That's why they've been taking this passive approach up to this point. They could also hesitate to fully go into union with you and to really throw themselves in head first. We see reconnection, but we don't see it. Again, there's the plan, but can the plan get us to the Two of Cups? And what are we willing to face with this Ace of Swords? So there's a baby. With this Ace of Swords to get to that Two of Cups. So we have a little baby in the bowl. Again, children could be a factor. We have the letter C. We have the ant. For me, that's always a symbol of the Divine Feminine doing a lot of the work, or maybe taking the most of the hit or something. It's like most of the emotional toil could be landing on your shoulders. We do have money being a factor or position. We have sport. We do have the Knight of Pentacles being shown by this stone. So there's a sense of responsibility. Again, children could be a factor. And what's interesting is that you've got this little red cross symbol in your bowl. And if you look in behind here, there's the like red cross symbol here as well. Or maybe it's not the red cross for some, but it's like a Kundalini awakening or a healing aspect. So they could be reaching out for what they say is closure, but they've got a lot more curiosity than meets the eye. Pile number 2, this is what I have for you today. I hope it resonates. Drop your comment below for your chance to win a free reading. If you are interested, be sure to hit your notification bell so that we can get the ball rolling and I can connect with you. You can also check out my link for Etsy for a personalized reading, and I do update that shop regularly. But I hope you come back and visit me at the Tarot Cottage, and I hope you have a great day. Hello, pile number 3. You were drawn to the Magician, and this is your reading. What are they going to do next? The person on your mind, what are their current thoughts and feelings, and what action will they take next towards you? Now, this Magician, controls all the elements. This Magician is standing here with a bunch of shadows underneath him. So there could be doubt in their abilities to transform or to manifest something here. The Magician also speaks towards communication that may be coming in as well. So hopefully that's a good sign for you. I'm going to use the Disney Villain Tarot for you today. For pile number 3, we're going to start with thoughts and feelings. Current thoughts and feelings for pile number 3, please. Ace of Pentacles. Communication, opportunity. Five of Swords. And I think that's Lucifer the cat. They keep calling out Lucifer the cat. We have the Hierophant. We have the Seven of Cups. We have the Ten of Cups. Back of the deck is the Knight of Cups, and we have the Seven of Wands. Let's clarify as we go. What are their current thoughts and feelings, please? This person's conflicted because of maybe, it could be a workplace energy, or like there's some type of practical complication that holds them back from taking true action or true clarity here in the situation. It almost feels like a crush that they have. It's like you're so close, yet I can't touch you. It's like I can see you, but I can't touch you. This doesn't feel like separation to me physically. Something holds them back, but it feels like more so a practical thing, like the work realm or something, or position. Even says world's greatest boss behind her. They are worried about like the feedback that they'll receive if they come forward towards you. And they could be worried about like other people's feedback, and they're highlighting the boss, like the boss's feedback. Even if one of you are the boss. You don't have to be, but they're worried about the boss's feedback. Here's the Strength. But it doesn't really matter what they're using as an excuse. It all is trickling down to fear and imposter syndrome with this person. This person suffers from imposter syndrome. They want to present themselves as Gaston, right? As the Knight of Cups, where everyone's throwing all sorts of accolades towards him. But they don't always feel like Gaston. They feel like something's missing. But I also feel like this is the type of person that even when they're insecure, they try to talk a big game in that environment. Here's the Six of Pentacles. Because it's not that this person doesn't talk with you or chit-chat with you. I think that they do, but they haven't been clear about anything. They haven't been clear about their feelings. There's so much emotional confusion. There's so much guessing going on between the two of you. They're confused about how you feel, so that holds them back as well. They may not know that perhaps this is mutual, that you feel exactly the same way, that you feel like maybe you have a crush on this person too. But it's like they're worried about how adjustments will have to be made in a work environment, or maybe it's a school environment. It doesn't have to be strictly work, but it feels very, it doesn't feel like it's an environment where love is supposed to spring necessarily. They're kind of worried about like the domino effect of what happens to our position. It's like, will it make it awkward? Will things change? Like, they're a little bit concerned about throwing off the balance that your connection's already created. So there could be a friendship here, and honestly, it doesn't even feel like a friendship. It more feels like an acquaintanceship or a situationship. Because when they talk to you, they already tame their desires. When they're already in contact with you, when they're talking to you, they're already taming their desires. But I feel like the contact that the two of you maintain is very practical in nature. Maybe it's just work realm related, for instance. Because something holds them back from going from practical to emotional. Here's the Four of Pentacles. And it's because they're afraid to change. They're afraid to move out of that comfort zone. And it's easier to kind of maintain this desire for you, even in fantasy, sitting in this position, than it is to know and to even go through all those consequences right now. And I'm just getting a reference of like money or position being a bottom line. Concern for my position. But it doesn't feel like a romantic connection. It feels very practical. They're separating the 6 and the 4 for me from the Ten of Pentacles. Here's the Death energy. So they hesitate to create clarity. And honestly, they almost hesitate to create clarity because of both potentials, either for success or failure. If it's failure, that sucks because it hurts and it's a rejection, and then everything shifts and changes and they feel foolish. If it's success, again, it throws off a balance. Everything shifts and changes. So it's like either way, they're concerned about the change. But they're kind of showing me this pirate ship, and I just heard buried treasure. And I feel like there's already been a lot of clarity between the two of you without it being spoken about. We haven't spoken about it. There's so much potential. I feel like there's a lot of potential here in this connection as well to expand. I feel like this person, you know, is a good person. I feel like maybe they would make a great partner. I think there's a lot of potential, but they're wasting time. They're scattering that potential. And it's the ego fueling this message to them that, you know, it's just gonna, it's nothing good's gonna come out of this. You both will just experience loss or pain or disappointment or frustration or, but that's not the truth. That's just a subjective truth. Ooh, but you are the inspiration that leads to change. Here we have a couple of different knights. We have the Knight of Cups, the Knight of Wands, the Knight of Coins showing itself. We have here the Four of Cups and the Queen of Cups. They sometimes convince themselves that you haven't even noticed them in that way. But you will sometimes look at their behaviors and think, well, they haven't even noticed me in that way. So the two of you are kind of sitting here in the same boat of conflict. And the truth is that nothing changes if nothing changes. But the good news is that moving into the future, I do see more progress. So hopefully that will be a sign of things to come moving into the future. This person is very inspired by the attraction that they have towards you. And it could be that attraction, there's a moment coming of confidence. There could be a moment coming of communication with you that gives them the confidence to perhaps to speak up or to let you in on the full spectrum here of this 10 of Cups. I don't think this person's just interested in a fling, to be honest. I think that they are a good seed, and I think that they're kind of looking for more than that. But they may present themselves in a way that keeps the options open so that they don't put that pressure perhaps on you. Let's get a couple of message cards to see what they're thinking and feeling about this connection. What are they thinking and feeling right this moment? Before we get a look at their next actions specifically towards you, the spread is already giving us some hints here. Hopefully they follow through, because this Knight of Wands is only a support to the 10 of Cups, so we're going to take a look at that. But what are they thinking and feeling, please, in regards to this connection? The last time I saw you, it crushed me. And I don't think that that was very long ago. And again, it was a conversation as well, potentially. But they felt awkward, or they felt disappointed, in conflict. I want to make you my spouse one day. They've got huge dreams, big dreams in connection here. This kind of feels like an obsession. I also saw keeping tabs on you, but I don't think this person's like spying on you specifically. I think they see you a lot and they watch you a lot in the environment. I want you so badly, falling onto the floor. I'm afraid that I've already lost you. It's like they're already afraid that there's no point. That's what's kind of holding them back. You don't know what you do to me. Just saw I'm addicted to you. I can still hear your laugh. I'm thinking about the day we met. This person has a big, big crush. A big crush on you. And I'm hearing that song, It's Hard to See You, Gaston, sitting so down in the dumps. In relation to this person. I gave you the impression that I did not care, but that was a lie. This could have been in the last communication with you. And in a perfect world, it is you, it is me. Back of the deck says, oh, have you forgotten me? I also feel like, again, that's a reference to feeling kind of overlooked, or not feeling like they are a priority. Maybe not feeling like you are that interested, or that you would be on the same page. Let's get a couple of these entanglement oracle cards. What are they thinking and feeling for pile 3 before we go on to what their next actions will be? To disappoint you would shatter me. It's like there's a lot at stake in this person's perception. To disappoint themselves would shatter them too. Ooh, enrapture me. They're worried that you could be in a connection, or you might not be single or available. But again, there's so much unspoken truths, so much confusion, that's really stopping the progress and holding everything back. It doesn't mean forever. So they could be biding their time before they gather up all of their skills and apply it here to the situation. Can you handle me because I'm a lot? Says here, I will always hold a candle to you or for you. And we also have, you are my safe space on the back of the deck. But I also feel like sometimes they use that safe space as emotional confusion, because again, it feels safe, but it also feels like it maintains a sense of hope. So let's take a look now and see what you can expect as far as their next actions, please. What will their next actions be towards pile number 3? We have the Chariot. That's momentum. That could be a sense of arrival as well. They're also showing me like a ninja. They're showing me this ninja star. They're showing me like a ninja who's trying to move silently, or it's like wearing a mask, like trying to take action in a way that feels like they're not completely outing themselves. That the action that they're going to take it very carefully, and it sounds, you know how ninjas move silently, so it's like keeping myself kind of protected while I go on my mission. We have the Knight of Pentacles. We saw the Eight of Swords. Oops. We have the Page of Pentacles. I feel like that's almost connected to the Eight of Swords because they're trying to build up some type of courage. This is going to take a little bit of time, I can't deny. The Knight of Pentacles is a little bit of a tire kicker. We have the Knight of Cups. We have the Queen of Swords. Back of the deck, we have the Three of Pentacles. Again, a highlight of the work realm. Here's the King of Cups. They could be a water energy, a Pisces, Cancer, Scorpio. Now, what's interesting is that this Three of Pentacles has the horseshoe. I think I mentioned this in another reading. And the only reason a horse has shoes is to do work, right? So, but it's also sitting in the perfect position to be good luck. So the action that they take, they're hoping will help to build upon a foundation. They're going to be approaching you a lot more with communication. They're going to also, instead of just keeping it business related, they're going to start to try to emotionally connect with you. They're going to start feeling the waters with this Knight of Cups. They may be offering you compliments, or they may be offering you even something practical, but they're going to come forward and like cautiously test the waters and start building upon the communication. They want to feel out the Divine Feminine's perspective right now. They're kind of intimidated by you. Again, maybe you're a superior to them in some way too, or maybe they're just really intimidated by the intelligence, the wit, the abundance that the Queen of Swords actually represents, because she is just a powerhouse. She's a leader as well. But they're just going to be very available, especially in the work realm. They're going to be very available to you. They're going to be very consistent, very reliable, and their mode of communication, again, like the ninja, they're going to be masking their true intentions or masking the emotional connection that they feel, hoping that you'll pick up on it, because they're calling it like the pirate analogy. They're calling it buried treasure, but it's like you're going to have to dig for it, or it's like there's still work in having to decipher their message or unlock the message in some way. But they are going to try to increase their efforts. Even if it feels small, I think you're going to pick up on it. You're going to notice. And I think they're going to almost be putting a little bit more effort even to like their appearance. You're just going to notice that they're cleaning themselves up more. They're smiling at you a lot more. They're trying to emotionally connect. They're trying to have conversations that are not just practical in nature and not just work or school related. So your guides want you to prepare for that. Now, of course, the Queen of Swords is sitting here getting to discern what she's going to do with all of this information. I think they are going to really leave a lot of it in your court with this approach. They're hoping that if they increase their effort, have a few more emotional conversations with you, and these emotional conversations may not be really deep-seated conversations at first. They could just be about, you know, things that are happening in their personal life. Whereas maybe in the past our connection or our conversations never went there. Now they're going to be starting opening up to you, hoping that you'll pick up on that vulnerable space and then take the lead. They still suffer from a lot of doubt and imposter syndrome. We have here the answers you need, though, are coming, the full moon. Gemini energy, perhaps, for the Divine Feminine. Communication is key, the new moon. So we have the full moon and then we have this new moon, both ruled by Gemini. We have back of the deck a time for healing in the balsamic moon. Underneath that, we have one that's flipped. It says, expect powerful change. Even through their slightly different approach than what they've applied in the past, Spirit says that this could just be the kick in the right direction that this connection could need for evolution moving into the future. Let's get a charm bowl for pile number 3. Your last thought about pile 3 in the bowl, the Strength, the Fool, 5 of Swords reversed. Now, if I'm going to see the 5 of Swords, I want to see it in the reverse position. It's like there's a feeling about getting caught for my feelings. They almost want to get caught for their feelings, but they're a little bit afraid for it. But they also want just a fair chance. It's like, I just want a fair chance. And they're concerned about that with the Strength in a state of limbo. They're afraid that they won't get that chance. But they have to actually give themselves that chance to step outside of that imposter syndrome spectator position and move into action. We have the little honeybee, the big honeybee. Sweet results that await. We also have Thirst from the Divine Feminine's perspective, and we have And. So there's like more to come about what we've already experienced in this connection. They're going to shift it slightly. We have here a cardinal. I do think of the phrase that a cardinal is near when an angel draws close. This person is trying to act like an angel. We have the Knight of Cups. We have the Knight of Cups multiple times. They're going to be reliable. They're going to be consistent. They're going to be someone who kind of smiles at you a lot and tries to engage you in conversation. We have the Screwdriver, which I think, references the slow momentum of the Knight of Pentacles, but making progress with every rotation. We have N, we have the Police, that could be a workaround perhaps, and we have EQ. All right, pile number 3, that's what I have for you today. I hope it resonates with you. If it does, drop your comment below for your chance to win a free reading with me, and be sure to hit your notification bell so that we can connect and I can get your reading to you, of course. You can also check out my link for Etsy for a personal reading, and I update that shop daily. Please consider sharing this video, liking this video. It helps me to bring you more content, and I hope that you come back and visit me at the Tarot Cottage, and I hope you have a beautiful day.